Today we're going to be doing a ozone starting calibration, and we're going to be going through the steps you need to do it right. We like right. First of all, you need to check up on your site.
We are out here at Wagon Trail, and we are inspecting the funnel before we begin to make sure that the ozone funnel is in place, that the screen is in place. ECB was out here yesterday and replaced the line and the funnel. Looking good.
So you've inspected the funnel, make sure it's still there, that weather or vandalism hasn't knocked it down. Now what we need to do is make sure that the building is still secure, that no damage has come to it, and that everything else around the site is going as normal. Like no construction, no roads being put in, just stuff like that. Next thing you want to do is fill out your ozone logbook. Electronic logbook. It's an Excel spreadsheet, and you go ahead and take a blank ozone logbook and name it for your site and the date, and start inputting pertinent information such as calibrator serial number, analyzer serial number, dates and times, temperature of the building when you came here, stuff like that. So you've gone through and recorded everything you needed to record. You recorded the lamp intensities, serial numbers, whether or not you cleaned the filters or not, whether or not your visit here is for calibration or for just a check. And you've filled all this out. Now you need to log on to the site computer and bring up some windows in it. You do this by going to split screen and pressing escape, 2-letter code for the primary data logger, and then AQN. Press L for login. Enter the password. In this case, it is Nero the cat, all one word. Get in there. Come down here, do the same, but using the 2-letter code for the backup data logger. Escape, WT, AQN, login, Nero the cat once again. At this point, you want to make sure that your data loggers have the exact same time as atomic time. You want them to be standard time, not daylight savings time. And then also check to make sure that the computer's time is actually running 5 minutes behind what actual time is. Remember, this is standard time, not daylight savings time, Eastern Standard. Next thing you do is you need to drain the compressor. And here's a good example of a compressor. We're going to come right down here, open this valve, and drain into the condensate that's in the compressor itself. Another thing to check on this puppy is the coalescing modes. Some compressors have them, some don't, but they also collect and condense water as well from the sample train. Little button to push on the end of this clear plastic bulb, and you're done. Also, make sure that your gauges are reading 40 psi output, and that you might also have another gauge showing tank pressure. And today, because we're setting this site up, I'm wanting to check and make sure that the site temperature is also correct. And this is a picture of the actual temperature probe of the building. And I've also got my NIST thermometer standard there. And we're just going to check today, make sure it's still reading about right, that the average temperature it's putting out is true. And if we need to change that, we can. Now that you've drained your compressor, it's time to put some fresh gel in zero air pack. This is done pretty easily. Let me show you. Now that you put everything back together, you have nice fresh blue gel ready for a calibration, we need to test to make sure that you made all the connections back properly and that there's no leaks into the caps or the lines. How do we do that? We got a little red button in the back of the zero air tank that pressurizes these canisters for you, so you can listen for leaks. Or if you're really wanting to check leaks, you can use some Snoop or soapy water. Little red buttons right back here. You'll hear a click. You'll hear it pressurize. And if you've done everything right, you won't hear a thing after a little while. So we're going to go there. Next thing we need to do is make sure our fan filters are clean on both our analyzer and our calibrator. How do we do that? Simple. Reach back here. Here's your fan cover. Here's your fan filter. How do we clean it? Clean. And just replace it. Snaps in place is pretty easy. Do the one on the calibrator. Like beating out your grandmother's old carpet or area rug, pretty easy. Next, since this is a calibration, we're going to go ahead and change the ozone filter on the analyzer so we can burn it in. We're also going to leak check it before we do that as well. Here's how you do it. Some sites, configuration is a lot easier to get at it. Some aren't. You might need a chair. I prefer to take the entire filter holder apparatus off to change it. Two little screws to undo, and it pops out. Make sure you realize that there's an arrow on this thing showing the direction of airflow. Airflow on this analyzer always goes from the top to bottom, so don't replace it back in this way. This will do you good. To change the filter, unscrew the top from the bottom. Inspect it for any dirt. That looks pretty dirty. There's the filter. You can see that the bottom portion has like a little screen that gives the filter some structure to sit on. I'm going to grab a towelette, clean the inside of this filter holder. Better to do it now so we can burn it in. Make sure it's clean. Look at that. Take one of your filters from your filters. Your bag of filters. Grab it between the blue sheets. Trying not as best you can. Touch it with your fingers. And then just kind of shimmy it onto the filter holder. Some people use tweezers, some people just pick it up and put it on there. Do what does best for you. Place it together, making sure not to torque the two pieces while you're pushing them together. You don't want to bunch the filter up in there. And be sure not to cross-thread it either. That's not good either. It should go together pretty easily. And then once you get most of the way there, work it out. Make sure these connections are good as well, that you want the hose pressed all the way in before you tighten down these nuts. You don't want any play or slack going into it. And that's ready to go back in. Now we can replace the filter holder and run our leak check. Once again, make sure that the hoses are set deep within their housings before tightening. You want a good connection. screen, go to Instrument Diagnostics, and scroll down to Pressure. Now we want to see the pressure drop below 250 in about a minute. And how we're going to do that is we are going to disconnect this ambient sample line. And some people have special little nuts that have blocked stuff or plugs. You can just use your finger in this case. Taking note of the time and see if it drops below 250 in about a minute. 552 from 713. .318, about 20 seconds or so. 226, good to go. Reconnect the sample line. And we're ready to proceed with our filter burn-in. As I said before, we were going to check our temperature probe today for the site temperature to make sure it was reading correctly. And it was reading a little bit high as compared to our NIST standards, so we had to go back in and change it. I'm going to show you what we did to change it. Back out of our readings here. We're still running our span gas, 225. It's leveled out about 227 for a while now. Pressing escape to get back to the main home menu. We're going to go to the C, configuration menu. D, we're going to configure data channels. We're going to C, change in old configuration. We're going to change the temperature. And to change the temperature reading, we'll come down here to the high output and low output readings. I've already done this, but it was reading 98 and -2. And whatever numbers you put into the high and low, they have to equal a span of 100. So if you think of 97 plus 3 on the opposite side of 0, well, that's 100. I shifted it down 1. Instead of 98 and -2, I made it 97 and -3, which brought it down about a degree and made it jive a little bit better with our NIST standard. Having you made those changes, you have to come down, scroll down here to the Finish Configure Now, and hit Enter. And it would record and save those changes. And it will just come right back out. I think the battery ran out when I was showing you how to do this, so I think I'll go ahead and show it to you again. I'm going to start. How do you log into the hyperterminal? This is for both the primary data logger and backup. First thing you do is press Escape, the 2-letter code for your particular data logger. In this case, it's WG, and then AQN. Then you're in. For the backup here, it'd be Escape, hit the Escape button, WT AQN, and you come on. Press L to log in. Nero the Cat is our password, all one word. Nero the Cat, and you're in. To start the calibration event, you go to Configure, C. Configure calibration, C again. We want to do a single phase cal 1. We'd select O3 cal. And then we would select for how long we would want to run it in minutes, and then hit Enter, and everything would start running. To watch what the minute averages are and record them, we go to Report Generation menu. Yep. We go to Real-Time Display, D. Hit C, Continuous Average. We don't want the SO2 channel that was here at one time. We just want temperature, ozone, calibrator, and then hit enter, and it'll give you your minute averages. Now also, with the battery went out, also showed you how to start a captured text file of all the keystrokes you make while you're here. So this is a record of your site visit. All you do is stick your thumb drive into the main computer here, hit select transfer and capture text. And you'll have to start, and you the name of the file will be saving to, and hit begin, and it'll start recording it to your thumb drive. And you do that for both the primary and backup network. And right now this event's been going for a while now, and I think we've about burned in the filter. I don't think it's going to get up any higher, so we will start to take our readings here shortly. And as you can see, we have our 5 readings, 5 consecutive readings, and they are the same as the backup data logger. And I have recorded them on our logbook. For our filter conditioning, we've recorded them in the logbook with the beginning time at the top. Now we're ready to stop this event and start our 0 and fill that in. And we'll show you how to stop this event. You want to press escape, escape again, and escape a 3rd time. C for configure, C again for calibration configure. We want to abort our cal event. W, give there a click. After we hit 03, enter. Hear the click, it means the event is stopped. We want to start our 0 event, hit 1. 03 cal. Scroll down, select the 0 event, hit enter. And you can ask it, it'll ask you how long you want to run it. I like to run it a long time since this is a cal. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 90 minutes, 90 M, hour and a half. Hit enter. Hear the click, flow, your event's running. Press escape again. One more time. Go back to the home menu. We want to look at our data and minute averages. Hit D, real-time display. C, continuous averages. Once again, we don't want the sulfur channel. And hit enter. And we're recording our 0 event. And you'll do the same thing to record the continuous averages for the backup data logger. You don't have to control the calibration events through the backup data logger. That's all done on the primary, so that's no problem. But as far as recording data and downing channels, you have to do it each in the primary and the backup. And we are going to let that run. As you can see, it's dropping. And we're going to see how our 0 looks. I'm 0 error. Hopefully here it has no ozone in it. And we'll take some readings after it settles out a good while. And you see we've been running our 0 cal event for a little while. Everything's mellowed out a little bit. And we're going to start taking readings at 11:20 and recording them. And remember, this is just all part right now of burning in our filter, conditioning our filter, making sure everything's working well with the filter holder, and everything else. So take the readings here in a little bit. And you see we've got our 5 consecutive readings, and then we have also recorded them onto our laptop. This is part of the filter burn-in or filter conditioning. We're going to leave this 0 event running so we can calibrate or make change to the 0 coefficient factor here in a minute of the analyzer. Now For the sake of making it easier to see, I filled out the filter conditioning on a different page that makes it look a little bit bigger, but I transferred those readings onto our cal page here. And this is the conditioning that is to precede any calibration. As you can see, the logbook's telling us it is an acceptable burn-in. And we're going to start to cal our zero. In order to calibrate the zero, we need to have the calibrator running our span of our 0 point, zero error running through the monitor, calibrator providing 0 error. We're going to go to menu, scroll down to calibration, calibrate the 0, hit enter. And set to 0, enter. Uh-oh, can't do it. You're in remote mode. So here's what you do. Back out of it. Go to instrument controls, hit enter. Enter service mode. You want it on? Yes, hit enter. Saving the parameters. Back out of this. Go back to calibration. Calibrate 0, enter. Set this to 0. Enter. You see how it teared it a little bit? Saving the parameters. Now we're going to see how we like it. We're going to let it run for a while. See if it looks a little bit better than what we started out with. Hopefully not worse. Otherwise we'll just hit set to 0 again. So far our 0 calibration is looking really good, looking really tight. I think we're going to start taking readings about at 1140. Take 5 consecutive readings. And then we'll be moving on to our level 4, 225 parts per billion. And we're going to calibrate that as well. As you can see, we have our 5 consecutive readings for our 0. And we have recorded them in the proper slot on our calibration worksheet. Now we're going to end this calibration event and begin our level 4, 225 parts per billion. We'll escape out of this once, twice, 3 times to escape. We'll go to C configure, C again configure calibrations, W abort the cal event right now, and hit enter on 03 cal. You hear the click, you hear the gas maybe not run as much. Now we want to start another single phase calibration point, 1, 03 cal, on the level 4, hit enter. We have the ability to change how long it runs. I want it to run about 90 minutes. Might not run that long, but I don't want it to run too short and have to start all over again. Hit enter once, hit enter twice. Hear a click, hear the gas running. Escape once, twice. Go to real-time display menu, D. C, continuous display average. Get rid of that SO2 channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we will sit around and let our 225 settle out. And we'll also need to do that same thing for the backup data logger as far as continuous average reporting. We've been running our 225 event for a little while now, and you can see that the analyzer has settled back out to where it was before when we were burning in the filter. We're going to let it run a little bit longer before we start messing with the calibration factors. One point I wanted to point out is that when calibrating these analyzers, time is your best friend. Don't be hasty and quick with your calibrations. Spend a little time now. It'll save you a lot of time later save you a lot of time later from having to go back out and maybe recal again if it starts drifting because you were too quick and didn't let it settle out enough to begin with. Take your time. That's what we pay you for. Doing a calibration fast is neither good or advised. Spend some time now. Let it run long and good, and you'll thank me for it. Okay, we've been letting our 55 pointer run for a while now. Now we're going to actually calibrate this on our analyzer itself. Hit menu, scroll down to calibration, hit enter, calibrate our ozone. I was here with ozone. Set to 225, it's already programmed in there. Our range is as high as 250. This is the reading we have right now. We want to set that to 225 because our calibrator is put for 225. So we'll hit enter. Save the parameters. You see it's changed it. And hit run. And we'll let that run for about 20 or 30 minutes. Make sure we like that cal, that it stays steady. That it's going to jive well with our calibrator. As you can see, our cal is held really good. It's about flat, solid, nice straight, level, no bumps, no nothing. Looking great. We're going to start taking readings about 1220, and we're going to place our calibrator back in our analyzer back in remote mode because we're not going to make any changes to this calibration. The menu, instrument controls, service mode, turn it off, press enter, saving the parameters, hit run, it's back in remote mode. Our cal factors have been saved. These new calibration factors, you can find them right here, cal factors, enter. Those are our new cal factors that we'll record in the logbook. We've got our 5 consecutive readings, and we scroll over here. We've entered them into our logbook, and I'm going to go ahead and enter the background factor that we calculated. And it's accepted. Now from here on out, it's going to be all downhill. All we're going to do is run a level 3 and a level 2, which is 120 parts per billion and 70 parts per billion, just to test the points in between the level 4 and our 0, just to document that our cal line is straight, that it is good continuity. So we're going to run another event. Come back to our split screen. Escape. Escape again. Third time. Back at our home menu. Go see configure. See again configure calibrations. We're going to abort the event that we're running right now, which is the 225. Hit enter. Hit click. Go to 1. get to these points, we're going to go to Ozone Other. So you have all the levels there. We'll go to level 3. Select. It's got 4 hours in there. That's fine by me. Start it. Enter. Here's a click. Gas running. Escape once. Escape twice. Hit D. C. Once again, get rid of that. Anything you don't need. Whoop. Or don't want recording. And let the level 3 point settle out. See that our level 3 readings are looking good. Past 5-6 minutes, it's leveled off right at 120, and probably be taking readings at 1250. We've got our 5 consecutive readings, and we have copied them down to the logbook. Now it's time to run the 700 PBB event for level 2. Here we go. First, we need to stop the event we're running. Go back to the home menu. We're going to go to C configure. C again, calibration. W, what count we're running. Since we were on the other, we need to go down to other for it to stop. Hit enter. You're going to click. 1, single phase cow, open your cow, level 2, enter, set it for 15 minutes, let's do 90 again, just for eagles, hit enter, here click, gas going, escape, D, real time display, C, continuous averages, anything you don't want to see. And you're running your next point. Let it settle out. As you see, we're running our last point, and slowly but surely it's drifted on down to 70, and we're probably going to let it run another 10 minutes, and we'll start taking our final readings. And you see here we got our 5 consecutive readings, and we have recorded them into the logbook. So they're looking good. So we're going to stop this event, and also stop our data collection for the thumb drive as well by our site visit. So escape. Configure, calibrations, W, enter, give it a click. From here we'll go to transfer, capture text, stop. Do that for the backup that one. We'll go to configure, data channel. We're going to enable our down channels, which is going to be the Ozone channel, hitting again, and the calibrator channel. Escape. Just to make sure that it's not flagged, we're going to hit DF. You can see the only channel down right now is the sulfur channel. Escape. We'll do the same for the backup. And then, now that those channels are up, cal is stopped. We're going to select O to log out. So you've been logged out, and we will just X out of this program. We'll do the same for the backup. Other mixed channels as well. log out the site computer will poll itself back to the last time it polled, which is probably about 9 o'clock. And it's talking with the data logger there. Everything's going good. And then you'll see this. You'll see a bunch of words and junk flashing back and forth. It means it's downloading everything. Yep, there we go. Now what I want to do today is do a data backup. I'll show you how we do that. Maybe I can get this right. I'm going to go up to Utilities on the edge of the letter. I'm going to go do a manual poll for today. Make sure we get everything back to about 7 o'clock. Just make sure up to this time. Select all, primary and backup, poll. See the same thing go again down at the bottom. Little taskbar at the bottom. It'll be polling. And if you want to see what it's doing and how it's coming along, see, it's going good right now. See, nothing much. So now we're going to copy these files to our thumb drive. We'll go Utilities, Copy Files, and we'll do two different types of files. We'll do one for Central Office and one for us. Central Office just wants minute data, and we'll just do, let's see, let's do range. This thing was installed yesterday. Let's just go to the 13th through today. Select our F drive, which is the thumb drive. I've got EDAS data on here. 2012, Wagon Trail. And while that's there, we'll go short. Yeah, I'm going to make a couple more folders in here. We'll do March. Do two more folders in that. We'll make a, let's call this mid-March Central, just so it goes to the Central Office. And we'll just do one called March. You'll understand that here in a second when we do that. So I've done that. Go back up one. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get 3. And Wagon Trail March. We'll do mid-March Central Office copies since we just want minute data. Copy files. But oh, because it's polling. Okay. I'll have to wait for that. And once that's done, we'll be right back and show you how to do that. Okay, let's try this again. We're going to go to Utilities, Copy Files. We want the data file secondary configuration minute. Go for a range, let's go back to the 13th. F. EDAS, 2012, Wagon Trail March. We get Central, copy. And into it. That's good. And Utilities again, copy files, data secondary configuration. Then we want all of this for the full. So we want full download of everything we got. F, EDAS, that. And when you're done with that, before you leave, make sure the scheduler's on. This little red alarm clock. Double click on it and tell you next time. Little auto hold. Auto hold at 3 o'clock. And just release that. Go away. That's good to go. Power down. Well, what do you have? Put your thumb drive out. Yeah, it's still running on something. Now. My ball fails. Take it out. Okay, that's good there. Take this, turn it off. So that's that. There's our logbook. We're going to put that on our thumb drive as well and head on out. And remember to sign in with the logbook what you did today. And take care of anything like that. And that is it. Be sure to lock up, turn off your lights, and lock the door.